Toot toot. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 4 of Gravy Wheels. We're here, and we're gonna talk, and you guys are gonna listen, and that's how we're gonna do this. And Frank is gonna breathe in his lung cancer stick, and it's just gonna be a good time, you know? How's that taste, Frank? Is that a menthol?
It's actually not my brand.
What's your brand, dude?
Because these Marlboro Blacks, but they stopped making them for 2 weeks, so there's like a shortage in the city.
Marble Blacks, huh?
Marble Blacks, yes.
Marble Blacks. I don't do the cigarettes, my dude. I just stick to the beers. What kind of gin is that back there? Dude, you left didn't you? I think you left a bottle of that at my house.
No, there was a bottle that's aviation.
That from,
there was
yeah.
From that's, you ended up with it?
Yeah, it's in my pantry.
Isn't it like is it a handle? Is it 2
I think it's a half. I think it's a half gallon.
Yeah, it's a handle. It's a
Yeah.
big one. I bought that and nobody wanted to drink gin with me, so fuck them.
Yeah, it's a big boy. Every time I see it in there, I remember the bachelor party. All the debauchery that went down. All the good times. What was that? Are you under assault?
No, my cat's losing her shit.
That's fun. So, there was a comment from a dude. Who was that? I don't even have it pulled up anymore. Oh, Joe Mama. Oh, dang it. Joe
Thanks.
Mama 1973. Who remembers Full Throttle from LucasArts? It was kind of the same point and click adventure game. Riven Mist 2 was also great. So real quick, I have no idea what this is, but I think you guys probably do. And I was distracted by the fact that there was a game called Full Auto on Xbox 360, which was actually pretty cool. It was like a Burnout ripoff. But anyways, go ahead. Take it away, boys.
Was there like I thought there was like a car combat element to that, like a Twisted Metal sort of rip-off deal going on.
Yeah.
Am I misremembering?
Yeah, no, I think you had machine guns and stuff. And like maybe even, I don't know if there was pickups, but I think there was like maybe some rocket launchers and stuff like that too. But it also had like the crash mode where if you hit somebody, I think it like slowed down into bullet time maybe, and you got like points for it or something. I don't remember. I remember that it was online matches. And I remember playing a lot of that, and it was pretty fun. It was one of the, like, maybe not a launch title, but a soon after kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It was good, but no one remembers it, obviously, and I don't think there was ever any more of those games.
There's a period of time on the 360 where it was kind of slim pickings towards the beginning.
It was it
But-
PDZ, Perfect Dark Zero, and
Yep.
Quake 4, I think, were the launch titles, and they were kind of oofs.
Yeah, it didn't really have a killer app off the bat. People were excited for PDZ, but it sucked, if I remember right. I don't
The
think I ever
online
played it.
multiplayer was terrible, man.
It's
I
a
don't know.
shame.
Just because it was the new generation. I remember playing through some of the campaign of PDZ and just being like, this is gorgeous. But it could have been any game on the new engine, and you would have said the same thing. But yeah.
Yeah, it was all so new and shiny and exciting
Exactly.
at that point. I didn't play Full Auto. I think I talked about not really having a ton of experience with adventure games in the previous episode, but at least I have like a million times more than you do, Joey.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember playing Monkey Island on my PS2, which doesn't even make any sense, and just like really enjoying the humor of the game, but also not understanding a single fucking thing about it.
Full Throttle was one of those like badass LucasArts games. I never played it. It's been for sale on multiple things. I was gonna get it because I've played quite a few. I've never completed a bunch of the point-and-click adventure games I have, but I've played quite a few, and some of them are just so frustrating. There's just no.
I know Full Throttle though is one of those Tim Schafer games, so it has that sort of like that sense of humor, that like Psychonauts sort of styling to it,
Who the fuck is
which
Tim
would probably
Schafer?
make it. You don't know who Tim Schafer is?
I don't think I know who Tim Schafer is. Maybe I do.
He's a relatively famous, successful like video game designer
Developer?
personality, like a Will Wright or
What's his biggest?
somebody like that.
I don't know who Will Wright is.
Made SimCity.
Oh, okay. Can I be honest?
is-
I've never played
I'm
SimCity, dude.
so fucking disappointed in you.
I've played like the Roller Coaster Tycoons and stuff like that. I never played SimCity.
I didn't really play SimCity either, but I at least know that.
Was it
Fair.
Roller Coaster Tycoon like 1 or 2, where if you made like a death coaster, you could actually throw people into your competitors' theme park, and they would die, but because they would die in your competitors' theme park, they would like lose.
I don't even
points.
remember having competitor theme parks. That had to have been like 3 or something.
There was one of them, yeah.
Dude.
You could make these death coasters.
Gravy Games. Once we actually start doing something, streaming it, uploading it, whatever, I found a website, and I'll have to re-find it now because I don't remember what it's called for the life of me. But there's a website where you can play Roller Coaster Tycoon in a browser multiplayer, so we can like all log in and make a fucking park together. And that needs to happen for Gravy Games. 100%.
You don't think we're jumping the shark a little bit by going straight to the theme park?
Not at all. Not at all. No. No, it's gonna be beautiful.
Sure.
Frank is balls deep in internet research down there.
There was one, and I can't remember what it was, but you could throw people into your competitor's park.
I don't remember that mechanic at all. Do you, Andrew?
It sounds vaguely familiar to me, like I read something about it once, but it's definitely not something I ever did.
I don't remember. I don't know if I ever played the first one, but I played a lot of 2. But I don't remember ever being a scenario like in the campaign. It was just you just always had your park, and you had your your objectives. Like you had to have a park rating of whatever by year 4 or some shit. But I don't ever remember there being like a park next door that you could even like see. I don't know. But it sounds like some fun. Sounds like some shit I would have
I
tried.
probably just made it up. I think I made it up.
Maybe.
The thing I remember the most about that game was way after the fact when the Mr. Bones meme started to like go around. Somebody who built, Frank knows what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about, Joey?
No. I mean, it sounds
Somebody-
familiar, but I don't.
Somebody built a coaster in Roller Coaster Tycoon that was designed to take like the maximum amount of time a roller coaster could take to complete a circuit.
Right.
So when somebody got on Mr. Bones' Wild Ride, it ended up taking like 999,000 years or something to complete one circuit. And then when you would get off of the roller coaster, the offline just led back into the on like ramp for it. So if anybody got on it, they were stuck on it forever.
That poor bastard. That's terrible. Did you guys ever play the new Jurassic World Evolution? Was that what it was?
No, sir.
It was like a park sim game, but Jurassic Park. Dude, I was pretty addicted when that game came out. It was fun as shit, man. You have to like
How
breed
easy?
dinos and how easy what?
How easy is it to get people
To get people what?
eaten?
Eaten? Oh,
to feed the people to the
it's-
dinosaurs.
It's pretty that's like a big part of the game. So your not just your carnivores, but some of all the dinosaurs had like different requirements. So some of them needed more grassland, some of them needed more trees, some of them needed more water, just more space in general. Some of them needed more of their kind. Some of them were more solitary. Like obviously some of the big aggressive like carnivores, you could only have one of them, right, in the same cage. But some of the herbivores and everything, they wanted like a pack. If you don't keep them happy, they'd start attacking the fences. And if you weren't keeping up with that, whenever they would start attacking the fences, they could break through. And you would get raptors and stuff out in your park, but you would have like these bunkers that you could just you like clicked it and sounded the alarm or whatever, and and everybody in the area would go into these bunkers to kind of seek shelter and everything, and then you would have time to trank the loose dinos, and you had to like pick them up by helicopter and put them back in the cage, and then repair the fence, and then fucking let everybody out of the bunkers. It was a pretty sick game, man. The cool thing was is that it was like pretty accurate to the movies. Like you would unlock like Isla Nublar, whatever. You'd unlock like all the islands that were actually in the movies and shit, which was pretty cool. So it was a fun game, man. I got balls deep in that one.
This makes me think of two questions. One being, if you could adapt a movie into a game of your choice, like a franchise into a game of your choice, what would you pick? And two, if you had to make a management sim like that, what would it be of? What would you be managing?
That's a good question, man. Go ahead, Frank.
Oh, wait. Are we talking like management sims or like movies that haven't been turned into games?
We're talking. They're two separate
Both.
questions. You can take
All right.
you can take whichever one you like.
Maybe a Groundhog Day point and click adventure.
I can't get
I could-
down with the point and click adventure game. No matter what the Chevy Chase is in it, I'm interested, but
What?
Oh God,
What?
I'm so sorry. Oh no, Mr. Murray, I am so sorry. Oh no. It's the alcohol. I'm so sorry.
We knew.
Mr. Murray.
I knew.
Forgive
I knew
me.
that it would only be so long until one of us deeply, deeply embarrassed ourselves on this podcast, and I'm just happy that it wasn't
Oh,
me
no.
first.
Fuck. I can't believe I did that. Oh fuck.
Who was it? Who was in Groundhog Day?
Chevy Chase.
Chevy
You know
Chase.
the guy
yeah.
who was the drummer for Steely Dan before Steely Dan was Steely Dan? Chevy Chase, right? Yeah.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
the one I
dude.
saw.
Kevin Nealon. God damn it. Fuck me.
What?
Go on without me. I'm just gonna log off.
Ugh. I feel like that, like, the experience that Bill Murray has in that movie is one of, like, such fucking frustration and, like, despair. That, like, would that be a fun game to play?
Yeah, it sounds like it would just be a fucking. I mean, the whole movie is just going back and forth and doing the same fucking thing and getting pissed off. So I feel like that's what the game would be. I guess you
Well,
could
that's
make
so
it
much
fun.
That's so much of what video games are anyways. It's just doing the same thing
Yeah,
over
true.
and over again.
Yeah, it'd have to be
But
done really
also,
well.
in further iterations of keep doing the same day over, he would do like crazy shit. So maybe it turns into like a postal type game where he just like flips out and I don't know, do this or you do that.
It's true. If it had like an open world thing where you could accrue information and then go back and like use it, that's kind of something with that. Frank, did you play Sexy Brutale?
That sounds like a website I'm subscribed to, but I have not played that game.
It's not. It's it's not a point and click adventure game. I guess it's kind of an adventure like puzzle game, but you're on this ship. I think it's been a while since I played it, and you're trying to solve these murders, and like every hour, I think the clock resets. So you go through and sort of watch people do stuff. You can never be in the same room with anybody else because of reasons, and you have to sort of observe the behavior of people and try to figure out exactly how everything fits together, how all these people like ended up dead. It's pretty good.
What was
So what's
But
your
is
sim
that-
game? Oh, sorry. Go
my,
ahead.
si-
Yeah.
my sim game?
Yeah.
Obviously, it would be Bowling Alley Mechanic Simulator 2020.
Right
Okay.
on.
You just manage bowling centers, and it's not fun. Just like in real life, you can't sort of think about starting a 9mm pistol every night.
Right.
You're actually
right.
given that choice in the game to actually blow your brains out every night.
Sure.
Okay. I like it.
That sounds all right. Like, how could you? Because like one of the best things about those roller coaster tycoon games is that you could like charge people to use the bathroom, and have all these really weird ways to like microtransact people to get money out of them.
Yeah.
So how would you do it at a bowling alley?
They got charged depending on how many fingers they put in the bowling ball each throw.
Oh, I like that.
And if they wanted to buy like premium shoes that were like actually disinfected, or the shoes that the counter clown just like stuffed in there and act like they sprayed and disinfected.
Mhm.
You know, one's like $3.50 to rent, and the other one's like $15 to rent.
What about like fines for gutter balls? Is that too far? Is that some like Minecraft shit?
No, we could do that.
Okay, cool.
Piss all these kids off. I like the idea though of like charging people per finger on the ball, because you would end up with these like super cheap bowlers who ended up being fucking incredible because they were
Just,
training for like just
palming it. Yeah.
smooth
Palming
palming
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of we would do bowling in high school. You guys remember, just with those
Mhm.
like rubber balls. But then we would always like end that portion of our class with a an actual
Field trip.
bowling field trip. Yeah, and I remember there was quite a few of the guys that would just palm it and do pretty good at it too.
Oh yeah, that was the only way you could like spin it or do anything interesting with it, because they weighed like a pound and they were just like this like
Right.
thin, hollow rubber.
It has a 2-piece construction rubber shell with the holes in it. And some
Those
of them have, like,
balls.
They sucked.
Well, as a rubber
Fuck.
ball on like a wood floor. I mean, like basically it just stuck to the floor every time it hit too. It's
Yeah.
like the worst representation of actual bowling. It's like, I mean, it did teach us the basics. How many? Let us know in the comments. I've always wondered about that. Like, how many other high schools in the United States actually had like a bowling segment of their physical education class? Because I always thought that was really weird and random, especially for our school where we had like really low numbers and the funding wasn't all the greatest and everything. But for some reason, we had like a bowling section of our PE class. I thought that was
People-
crazy.
And people were really always really anal about it too, because like the gym floors had like were like redone all the time,
Yeah.
and they were always super nice. And anytime anything came in jeopardy of like nicking the floors, people started to freak out.
Yeah, and we're setting up bowling pins, and remember there'd be tape on the floor for like 2 months of the school year, for like where the 10 pins would go, and then you'd have 2 people back there setting up the pins and 1 person bowling, and then it taught us how to keep the score, which I still don't fucking understand because that game's ridiculous, but it's good
Yeah.
times.
It's math.
It's not that hard.
That's goddamn right, it's math. Tech prep math, fucking 3 years, bud. I don't know shit. All right, I'm a fucking idiot. Let's be honest. Don't make that face,
Yeah.
Frank. I saw that.
All right, so Andrew, what movie would you turn into a game?
What? That's a good question.
It was your question. You better have a fucking answer, Andrew.
Oh, it is. It was my question. I'm
It
very
was.
smart.
I had time. I wrote my 2 down, so if you need more time, we can go to me.
Yeah, go ahead. I've just been listening.
All right, let's hear your dumpster fire of fucking ideas.
I fucking hate you, Frank. So my idea is, fun fact, I actually found out recently that Waterworld was a movie adaptation that went to the SNES. And I think it goes down as like one of the worst games of all time. But the soundtrack is fucking banging. I think we talked about this like not too long ago.
Did you learn this from a podcast?
He didn't.
I think you guys might have. It got brought
Okay.
up in our chat, in our text messages, but it just made me
Okay.
think like that would be like maybe today when the technology is there. You know, imagine like a game where you're on like the raft that I need to rewatch the movie first of all. It's been way too long.
That skiff that he had.
Yeah, you imagine you're on that skiff, and the whole point is like you're trying to find, you know, the last bit of dirt or whatever, and you keep running into what were they called, the smokers or whatever.
Yeah.
You're going on the aircraft carrier and fighting all these dudes and all that shit, and you can dive and find loot and stuff like that. Dude, I think a Waterworld game could be badass. I really do.
So I'm just gonna interrupt you there. Have you guys played the recent Mad Max game that came out a few years ago?
Yeah. That's exactly. I was just thinking that as he was
If
talking.
they could
Yeah.
do that with Waterworld, it
Yeah,
would be great.
just
But go ahead.
dude, that's a good point, man. They could do like everything right now is kind of doing the whole Terminator DLC and then you know Predator 2
Mhm.
stuff like that. Like maybe Mad Max could just like buy the rights to Waterworld and do like a DLC expansion or some shit. But I would play it, man. That would get.
I would
my
love
interest
it.
for sure.
I would love it if they would do another one of those fucking Mad Max games. That first one was really, really good.
I didn't play
Just
through
kinda-
all of it, but what I played was really fun. It was good.
I didn't finish it either, but it was like I had fun with my time with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Waterworld was such a good movie. I mean, Charlie Sheen's performance in that was just great.
Nope.
Wait.
Nice try.
Charlie Sheen's in there.
I get what you're doing, but don't do it.
I'm making fun of you for your screw up earlier.
Yeah, I know. What's the bad guy's the villain in that movie? What's his name? Dennis Quaid or some shit?
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis
Good
Hopper.
God.
There it is.
King
Open
Koopa
your-
himself.
Open your mind, Quaid. Anyways,
I got my answer.
well, hold on,
it's kind-
bitch.
All right.
So for my sim game, all right. Now, stay with me here, because
Is it eBay Simulator?
no, it's better.
You play that IRL.
No. A Bug's Life. Disney's A Bug's Life, right? So
Okay.
all the ants have their little jobs. You know, some of them are harvesting, some of them are defending. You could also plug this into B movie, okay? Just the life and the roles of insects in a micromanagement sim game.
1 second.
Okay.
What you were describing is Sim Ant, made by Will Wright.
Yeah.
What? There's already that
It's already been
exists.
done. It's
That
already been
exists
done.
already. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, are you a fucking
son of
Simpsons
a
episode?
bitch. I didn't know that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Well, you also don't know who Will Wright is, so
You're
I
right.
guess.
You are correct. on
We
that
just went over this before we started recording, and it's just shameful.
one. Yeah, my bad.
No, but
Well.
expand on your. Yeah, don't.
On my Bug's Life, and then the
Yeah, no, go ahead.
grasshoppers come, and if they don't get the fucking food in time, and then you got to turn your ants into circus performers. Yeah, go ahead, Andrew. I don't know. It could work.
My movie answer is like a little bit cheating because this has been adapted into a movie or into a game, but it hasn't been done
Yeah,
like
so was
well.
mine.
Oh, that's true, I guess. But I want to fucking John Carpenter's The Thing game on today's systems. That has
that
like
game sucked.
that game was like it was really mediocre. There are some games that are sort of like it. Like I think there's one called Distrust that's has like a similar vibe, but it's not quite the same thing.
What
But, like,
platform was it on? The adaptation that they tried.
The dick box. Cause it
The
was
original
some shit.
Xbox, yeah, is of that era.
I don't remember that.
But I mean, it had good ideas. It had like sort of the right idea where you can't trust everybody, and like different people on different playthroughs would be infected with the thing, and they would turn into the monster like when it was like shitty timing. But like a version of that now with like really high production values and like a randomized element to it that would make it replayable could be so good. Especially if they could make it randomized enough that you legitimately didn't always know exactly how it was going to play out.
And if it was like team based too, where it was randomized, but you could have like two people playing together and going.
Oh, that could be cool too.
There's a
Like a saboteur kind of.
There's like
idea.
a Minecraft mod called Trouble in Terrace Town, I think is what it was, and you had to like figure out it was like random who was gonna be like the killer or whatever, and you had to kind of figure out who it was, and you had to be on your toes. Also, if you guys haven't, I don't know if you guys have played the board game Secret Hitler, similar vibes to that too.
Yeah. It's a similar sort of deal.
Yeah, that would yeah, I agree. That would be a good one. Or same thing.
As for
but in
management,
the alien world, like somebody's got the fucking,
Uh.
and you don't know who it is, and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I would love another good Alien game. Isolation worked, but like we can keep doing those. You know, we don't need just one.
Right.
You look vicious, Frank.
I have not liked any of the Alien games. I don't know if I've got Isolation or not, but like they've just all been shitty and to me.
I mean, they have, except for Isolation.
I thought
think.
Isolation was pretty decent. Yeah. Like they did a good
Isolation's
job
solid.
of not knowing. Like you were always on edge. Like where the fuck, is the alien? Is it
Mhm.
close, or am I good? Do I got time to actually like do some shit, or is it about to fuck me?
And they like the thing that I liked about that game the most though is that how much they like really none of those movies. Like, because the ship that you're on, I forget the name of it, is like has like those 80s movie vibes. It really like they recreated the set design so well. For management, I don't know. I got nothing. I wasted
Got
all my
nothing.
brain on the thing.
I've got one that might be up your alley though.
Okay, give me.
Cat manager, where you live in a small apartment and you have to make sure that your cats get along.
No. Not at all.
I would not. I'm playing that game right now. Actually, that game exists, and it does. It is happening in my apartment, and it's not going great. It's going bad.
Delete your account.
Yeah. I would have rage quit at this point if they weren't both very cute.
Just let the rats in, and then they'll figure it the fuck out. Like only the strongest will survive.
No, they'll unite against the rats, hopefully, or they'll each become head of their own rat gangs, and then we'll have amazing
I've got
gang
my money on
fights
the
in the middle of our
rats. The
apartment.
New York rats. I mean, you can't bet against them. That's what I've heard, at least.
Yeah, they're basically raccoons.
Speaking of New York, Andrew,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
have you heard any debacles in the New York City prison system recently involving video games?
other than Epstein.
No, I have not actually.
Oh, Department of Corrections in New York City about 5,500 Game Boys to give to inmates.
Wait, what kind of Game Boys?
Yeah, I already have a problem with this.
No, they look like they're Game Boy colors. There's a red one, a green one, or a red one, a blue one, and a yellow one.
Okay.
But they were knockoff Game Boys.
Oh, god damn it!
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fucking Trump.
They blew $82,000 on these. And
Wait,
they're
on how many
knockoff
of them?
Game Boys. 5,500.
So what's the math?
These
on
like-
that?
Are these like the
$15
Pocket Soldier Boy console or what?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I guess they were like loaded with they're like those like really crap like 350 games in one, but they're like knockoff Game Boy.
Oh my
games.
god.
Fucking idiots. They could have got like SPs for the same fucking price, dude.
Hmm.
But
Those
then you're gonna
bastards.
have like inmates shivving each other because like one of them's gonna have Wars 2. Or, like,
Yeah.
a bunch of guys are gonna like fight so they can have like fucking Mario Kart with the cables.
Yo, trade me
That's
that
right.
Advance Wars and I won't fuck your boy tonight, bro. That kind of shit. I mean,
Bro, I got this.
The like incredible Pokemon trading that would go on in a closed ecosystem like that.
They'd be all named racist shit.
Think about the new like fighting meta that would evolve.
oh,
We'd
God.
find out a whole bunch of new fucking Pokemon secrets and shit. We'd find like 8 new missing no's.
That's amazing, man.
Missing No.
Yeah.
First No, his name was, whenever I learned about
Robert
it,
Paulson.
on the school bus.
God. Shut up, Joey.
One of our buddies in like elementary and high school called it missing number Mississingo. Do you remember that, Joey? or was Joey? Joey was never a Pokemon fan, really. were
No.
you?
Was it one of the brothers?
Yeah, the oldest one.
That's like
I
a
don't remember.
fucking classic little kid thing to do.
Mississingo.
All I
Missing
remember
number.
though is that they would, because I was on their bus, and they would just play Pokemon every morning, every evening, the entire ride. Pokemon dominated the bus, man. Whether it be the game, the trading cards. I mean,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
everything. That and
Ooh.
Warheads.
Well,
Warheads
We had a-
were currency.
We had a Sam's Club membership when I was a kid, and I remember getting a display box full of Warheads,
You were fucking
and
rich
just
then.
yeah, I was elementary school
You could
famous.
do whatever you
and-
wanted in elementary.
But like I would eat so many of them that eventually like the lining on the inside of my mouth started to come off.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad to know that I'm not the only person that happened to, apparently.
No.
What about
that's-
paintbrush?
The paintbrush
Bro,
suckers. Those were huge in our school. I don't know if they were big other places, but I
We didn't get
remember
those.
this, like the school gave them out in some shape or form, Frank. I don't remember how. Was it the library in the? Remember, there was like a closet of. I don't remember what it was. It was like the more book reports you did or something, you got like a currency, and then you could spend it. They had this like closet that they would line us up in front of, and they'd open the closet, and there'd be paintbrush suckers and like shitty like rub-on tattoos, and just like random like bullshit spider rings and stuff like that, and we could spend our currency on that.
So
they had to go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. So, for those of us playing along at home, describe a paintbrush sucker for me?
It's a paintbrush sucker.
It's just like a sucker that looks like a paintbrush.
Yeah, there wasn't powder or anything.
The shit out of your
tongue. It was literally shaped like a paintbrush. They tasted pretty good, but like the coolest thing about them was that you would just like rub it on your tongue, and it would like make your tongue really bright red or blue or purple or green or whatever.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I don't even know if they're still a thing anymore.
That shitty ass school though, they would do anything they could to incentivize like all the ADD trailer park trash kids to do work.
You mean
like,
us?
Here's more sugar. We were not them.
Yeah, not as bad, I guess. Yeah.
Do you remember the Pony Express? The mail service we had?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah, I remember that.
If you were a good kid, you got to deliver mail. You could actually like. I don't know if you had to buy stamps. If you were a good kid, you could get like stamps. But you could write letters to like other
send them to other kids in school. Yeah.
And then like, I forget which hour of the day it was, but like, the mail delivery kid was picked for like on merit. It was like a meritocracy thing, like being a good kid, and you would get like a messenger bag or something, and you would actually. We actually sorted mail out to which room it went to.
Did you ever do that?
I only got to do it like 2 or 3 times.
I don't remember ever being able to deliver mail, so you must have been a better kid than I was.
No, obviously.
Shut the fuck up.
But yeah, you would have to have like it was like near the end of the bag, and then you would actually have to like have these bundles of mail that you would have to deliver to the classrooms and shit.
That sounds like a really good way to figure out who the nerds are that are going to get beat up later.
Yes. Did we have... I don't remember if it was at our school or the school I was at before. The pin machine that had like the NFL pins in it. So do you remember that you could turn those into a gun pretty easily? You would just like take the parts out and then rearrange them, and then when you press the button, it would just launch the fucking... And we, like, once people realized that, then we didn't give a shit about buying pins for class, obviously. It was just like, then it was like warfare.
Street warfare.
Yeah.
We had a similar machine at my grade school in Kansas City, and except they were pencils. They were all like NFL pencils.
Yeah.
And they were like the shit. They were the hot fucking commodity at that school. Everybody was like, you know, however many you had, that was how cool you were. And so, like,
so fucking true.
One day I was like, okay, I figured this out. My mom had this drawer at home. It was like this giant drawer at the bottom of our computer desk. You know how like some of the drawers on desks are like twice as big as other ones?
Right.
And it was full of coins that were stacked up neatly, like to be deposited eventually. There had to have been probably like as a kid, I had no concept of like how much money that was.
Right.
But now as an adult, I'm looking back on that and thinking that was probably like $70 or $80 worth of like just quarters. And so I took like as many stacks as I could carry with me to school. And I got to school late that day, and the pencil machine was right outside of the pencil machine was right outside of the principal's office. And I was just standing there for like 20 minutes just pumping quarters into it, just getting like one pencil at a time until eventually like the receptionist or somebody was like, what the fuck is that? He spent like $40 on pencils. And they called my mom, and it was not a good scene for me.
I bet.
But for about 10 minutes, I was cool as shit.
Hey, Joey.
Yeah.
Speaking of like school weaponry.
Dude, I hope you're about to bring up the exact same thing I was just about to bring up. Go ahead. Bee stingers, dude. The bee stingers. Oh my god, yeah.
We would actually have like R&D like research laboratories to develop
figuring out how to
where we'd fold them, and then I don't know if it was you or me came up with the idea. We would take and we would break paper clips
Yup.
and put them in
Put
them.
in the ends.
Oh, we can't mention names on this, but there's a lot of good bee stinger school stories.
Oh my
like
god.
they were banned. Andrew,
Yeah.
were you there for that?
That doesn't sound terribly. What, describe
might
a
have been
bee
like
stinger
the-
for me.
So a rubber band, you would take a rubber
Mhm.
band from your thumb to these fingers,
Mm-hmm.
and you would just
And have
hold
like a
it,
piece of paper.
and then you fold up a piece of paper like real fucking tight
Yeah.
into like a little, rectangle, whatever, and then you would just fold it in half, and you would take it and put it. It was like a rudimentary bow and arrow, I guess you could say.
Yeah, yeah.
But the
We-
paper.
We did have those, and the culmination of those for us was putting staples in them, stapling the ends of them.
There you go. Yeah, we did paper clips, but it got so bad to where I remember there was one time. Who was it was it me that shot it? Somebody
No.
shot one and almost hit the teacher in the head. Like it hit the
I know
cabinet right
exactly
next
who-
to her. It was in our fax class when it was our cooking
like-
class.
It was
I
like,
mean, it hit hard, and she everything came to it. She was like, she stopped everything, and I've never seen her so mad before. And I think she made everybody empty out their pockets or something. I don't know. It was bad. But then there ended up being announcements over the intercom for the entire school after that, and they were we're gonna confiscate everything, and you're gonna immediately get Saturday detention and stuff. I mean, it was bad.
so the kid that did it, you would not expect for him to do that, and he missed. He actually confessed to it, but let's not bring up names. But he ended up confessed and went all. Oh, but it went right by her head and just boom! It was in fax class.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! And then at one point they knew some of the main instigators of it, and they did search some lockers because my locker was searched.
People probably are just just kids doing kid stuff, but
No,
you guys
people-
got to understand, if you never mess with these things when you were a kid, they 100% could put an eye out. I mean,
They would fuck you up, yeah.
Yeah, they were bad news. Those things fucking hurt. If you took one, usually you just try to hit your buddy in the arm or some shit. Most people weren't trying to aim for the face, but man, them things hurt bad.
Hit somebody where the skin is real thin.
Yeah.
It's no good.
Oh yeah,
Well,
they can
and
definitely
then,
draw
do you
blood.
remember the zip gun that we made in shop class? Were you there for that?
Like a rail gun type thing. What was it? I don't know.
It was something that we drilled a big hole through, and we hooked it up to the air compressor.
Oh, Eric, I was
We-
thinking magnets.
And we chopped a piece of welding rod. And
God.
somebody that shouldn't have been using it shot it at somebody else, and they missed them. But what they did was they shot it through the paint booth window, and it had a perfect hole right through the paint booth glass.
Yikes.
So much stories of injury and trying to hurt each other.
Yeah. Dude, high school was sketchy. We'll put it that way. From accidentally making cyanide in I don't even know what class that was. Math? I don't even know. Which doesn't really add up, but it wasn't even a science class. Just Frank and I accidentally made cyanide.
We're not going to say how we did it, but
It's
And
two
then the teacher,
basic things.
just
We didn't
shut
know.
up about it. Don't.
We didn't know.
But don't even explain how. But anyways, and
probably
then
better
the
that we
teacher
don't.
came up and he's like, "What are you guys doing?"
It was
and he's like,
smoking.
"You
We
guys
just
know
thought it
what
was
you're
cool."
making?" While we're hovered over it, and he's like, "What are you guys doing? Do you guys know what you're making?" Like, no. You guys are making cyanide gas. Stop. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened. We didn't
That
know.
was in the chemistry lab, but it was not a chemistry class.
Yeah, we
Oh, that-
were
that
in a
makes sense
chemistry. Yeah, we were in a chemistry lab, but it wasn't a chemistry class, which never made sense because there was Bunsen burners at our tables, but we never got to play with them. Did they? I don't even think they had a class where you could use the Bunsen burners.
I was in that class. You weren't. There was a reason for that.
What's
Not
that
to be
supposed
trusted with
mean?
Bunsen burners.
Wow.
Because that semester I had I was in that room almost all day but you were in there like twice that day because you
For
were
tech
the
prep or
TA.
something, I think.
Yeah, but I had, because that year I had to do chemistry, I had to do geometry, I had to do algebra 2 or something, and then I had to do like the tech prep math.
Dude, I never
class
made it
with
to
you guys.
algebra 2. Algebra 1 is as high as I got. Let's be honest. Do you remember the teacher that we got fired because we went on a field trip and we got in trouble while we were on the field trip at the science center, and then she made us do a 20-page report due the next day when we were in 7th grade, and we threw
That's how she got fired?
yeah, we threw so much of a fit. I turned in a 20-page report with hand-drawn pictures the next day because I was like, nah, this ain't happening. And then our parents threw so much of a fit because they were like, dude, they're in 7th grade. You made them do a 20-page report due the next day. Like, are you kidding me? And yeah, she ended up getting fired after that one. That was a good one.
That has to be like a straw that broke the camel's back kind of situation. Like,
She
that's
was
not
already terrible.
Yeah.
Is that a tall boy there, Frank?
Of
Natty Light?
nasty light, boy.
That premium lager, dude? Was that like a $6 can, dude? Splurging.
Dude, you can get a 6-pack of tall boys for $3.99.
I bet you can.
You gotta respect yourself a little more.
My body is a temple that is built of shit.
It's the temple of doom. They sacrifice people on.
Oh gosh.
Andrew's just downing straight vodka over there.
Gotta be hydrated. Hydrated with alcohol.
You guys hear that? Jesus. Sorry. Neighbors are getting crazy.
What games have you been doing recently, Jehovah?
Well, one I want to talk about, but I can't talk about. Hashtag NDA. But other than that, man, just Halo. I haven't really been doing anything other than Halo that I can think of. But
Nice.
I want to... No, it's not. But I want to get into more stuff, you know? It's just there's nothing really out there right now, man. I'm holding out for Infinite. I'm hoping it's good.
Frank and I have been sort of trying to drag you into Destiny for a little while now, but you're putting up a fight.
Put up a bit of a fight, yeah.
I had some strong,
I did
strong
really
opinions about
enjoy
that.
I did really enjoy Destiny 2 at launch. I just like I just shortly after got like bored with it. I don't know. Then again, like the majority of the reasons that I keep playing games is like having friends that are also into it. To me anymore, as you know, like I'm about to turn 32, like it's getting sad, you know. So the majority of the reason that I keep playing games is having friends. It's a social experience for me, you know. Like games are fun and I can play them solo a little bit, but the only thing that's going to make me play multiple hours in a row for the most part is, you know, hanging out with friends and enjoying a good time together. So maybe Destiny 2 could be fun. We'll see. I'll download it and I'll see you guys in 5 days, you know.
It's one of the benefits of living where Deliverance was filmed is your high internet.
Squeal like a pig, boy! Whee! Sorry.
This is not that kind of podcast.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We speak in hushed NPR tones here.
I don't even know what that means, but all right.
Coming up next here
We got
on our ASMR block, we're gonna have Dave Grohl playing the marimba.
Oh, are we?
No.
Oh, damn.
Hey, Joey, do you remember whenever I actually had a marimba in our basement, in that finished basement with a hot tub and all the band equipment?
Why?
Dude, you had all kinds of funky shit in that. You had all... Wait, hold on. Can we talk about how your parents got to hang out with Harrison Ford in fucking Costa Rica? Or,
That
right?
was... No.
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
I don't think that...
I've
that
seen
my
a picture
brother-
of your parents with Harrison Ford. Am I crazy?
I think it may be my older brother, my much older brother. They lived down in Central America for.
Are you sure? I could have swore it was your parents. They hung out with Harrison Ford while they were shooting Mosquito Coast.
Mosquito
The Mosquito Coast, but I don't think it was my parents. I think it was my old.
Dude, oh my God! I don't care how the rest of this podcast goes, but we're gonna get to the bottom of that story. I need to know now because I could have swore that was your parents.
Well, because they filmed it down there, but I don't think parents. I think that it was just my brother got to meet Harrison Ford.
How old would he have been back then, though? That was filmed in like what, the early '80s?
That's about when they lived down there, and yeah.
I just remember
they lived down there. Yeah.
I remember seeing a picture of Harrison Ford and somebody from your family, and I asked about it, and you explained it to me. And at the time, I hadn't even seen Mosquito Coast. Like, I was too young to even really care or whatever. That's like one of my favorite movies. I tell everybody about that movie, and most people are like, "What the fuck?" That movie's great.
So it's like a gigantic ice machine in the middle of Belize.
Yeah, exactly. And then they fucking burn it down, and he goes crazy, and they're on a raft. And I mean, fuck. If you haven't seen Mosquito Coast, listeners,
don't spoil it for me.
Get out there and do it. Oh shit, you haven't seen it, Andrew? It's a good one.
No, I haven't seen it. I've been meaning to watch it for I don't know 15 years.
I don't even know if that's really good. I don't know if he met him or if he got a picture of him or if he had a signed picture. I don't remember. I don't really remember any of that.
Dude, for real, like you need to look into that so we can let the listeners know more of the backstory on the next episode. But so that movie, for anybody that hasn't watched, Mosquito Coast starts out. It's young Harrison Ford.
Young Nick Nolte.
Young Nick Nolte, right? And
pre 48 hours.
He's driving around in his little beater truck, and he's just fed up with corporate America and all the fucking bullshit signs, you know, for McDonald's and all this corporate America bullshit. And he's done with it all. And he's an inventor on a farm, and he finds this way to make a machine where you make ice just out of like the moisture in the air, right? And he takes this machine and he moves his entire family to like Costa Rica, Central America, whatever. And basically like I think, what does he like befriends a village of like native people there and shows them this ice machine or whatever, and it kind of becomes like a god, and they have like this giant temple for like the ice machine. And dude, it's an out there movie. You gotta watch it.
I'll watch it.
It's a good one.
I'll watch it.
They did get to meet Jimmy Buffett though, and Jimmy Buffett was a real dick.
Really?
Well, yeah. So they met him. He was down at because they had like this little bar that they would go to.
Speaking of Jimmy Buffett, having a margarita right now.
And
sorry.
I don't know. And I guess that they had like a bunch of like bootleg cassette tapes that they had made before they went down there, because basically you would have to pay bribes to get stuff down there. So of course they didn't take their good like actual cassette tapes or vinyl or anything like that.
They're good cassette tapes.
Well, like they're actual cassette tapes. So they had a bunch of like mixtapes. They had a bunch of dubs.
Mm-hmm.
They had a bunch of cassette tapes that they had dubbed, and like they met him at this little bar that they frequented, and somehow or another he found out that they had like dubbed cassette tapes, and he was like pissed off. But they were like, "This is the only way. We're like your like true fans, but we're not going to bring all of our stuff down here and have it stolen if we don't pay bribes." I think that was the gist of the story. Huh. But after that, he was cool. After that, he like realized like.
And who is that? Your brother or?
No, that was my parents.
Your parents, okay.
I'm still trying to figure out the Harrison Ford thing. I don't know. I don't remember that.
Dude, I hope I'm not just full of shit, because I could have swore I remember seeing a picture of your parents with Harrison Ford, like just hanging up on the wall in your house, and I was like, what?
I feel like I have some vague memory of like learning about Mosquito Coast for the first time being at your place, Frank. And
who was it? Joaquin Phoenix? Who the fuck was the kid?
Yeah, young Charlie Sheen.
a young Mel Brooks.
God damn.
Yeah, he was never young.
Somehow.
River Phoenix.
So we had
River Phoenix. My bad. I was close.
We had a marimba down there. We had a drum kit. We had like a trumpet at one point.
You had a wraparound couch that was very
Yeah.
easy to masturbate on.
What are things that are difficult to masturbate on besides like sea urchins and obvious shit?
Beanbag chairs,
Angry cats.
litters of newborn puppies.
Not furniture.
Point taken. Tandem bicycles.
Like I get a moving bullet.
Frank's basement was pretty badass. He had the best basement set up in high school for sure. I don't know, the brothers had it pretty good too.
Yeah, they
Yes.
did. Theirs was more spacious and more accommodating for land. Mine was. Like
But
big
yours
and
was
a
actually
hot tub.
finished. Theirs wasn't. I mean, they had furniture and stuff down there, but it wasn't technically finished. It was just like, well, here's a couch and a refrigerator and some rugs. But yours was actually like fully finished with a bedroom and stuff like that.
And like once a week or so, we would have like band practice where that little cover band that my dad was in, they would do like practice down there in the basement, and then
Oh yeah.
we would have like parties up on the deck where the band would play, because we had like 3-tiered decks, and then we had that pool.
Yeah.
So you had the highest deck, and then you had another deck, and then we built an even lower one, and that was all decked out with like birds of paradise and canas and all those like beautiful like tropical and elephant ears and all those like tropical plants that you would get to like grow somehow every year in the middle of Missouri.
That house was pretty sweet. Every time I drive by it, I
I'm
was
disappointed.
I know. I'm like, damn, it'd be cool to live there. It was a fun house, man.
I only remember going there a handful of times, but yeah. Mostly, I remember you guys would just come over to my place because, by way of
Internet.
apology, well, for internet one, and two, by way of apology for moving me out to the middle of nowhere, my parents gave me the biggest bedroom. They gave me the master bedroom. So I had
Was
like
that the master?
that was the master. Yeah, their bedroom was tiny compared to mine.
There was no walking room in that bedroom though. There was no walking
Yeah, they had.
room.
Wait, in Andrews or his parents?
Yeah. No,
Well, no, it's because
Yeah.
I had
You had a
fully utilized the
futon and
space.
Futon and a couch, right?
I had a futon, I had a couch, I had like a computer desk, and then there was like a long table that also, for a super long time, had that white CRT TV on it with the VCR attached.
Yeah.
That was like whatever you would come over, that was the TV that you would use.
Yep.
And yeah, you spent many a night on that couch.
Oh yeah, that couch was like my second home, man. Or my third, because I was also at the brother's house all the time.
And you would also just be like ankle deep in root beer cans.
Yes.
Yes,
Dude,
because I was disgusting.
Basically didn't live at my own home like my entire high school basically okay, at least once I was able to drive, I wasn't home for the most part. But you guys
Sure.
listeners, you guys have to understand, I literally grew up in a house that was like 250 square feet. It was like the smallest house that you could ever even imagine. Like the size of the office that I'm in right now is almost the square footage of my entire house that I lived in from 3rd grade to graduation.
Another important factor of that too is
don't
that
make that face, Frank.
all of that space was also taken up with Coca-Cola memorabilia, from what I remember.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you remember, dude. Yeah, yeah. Still to
Yeah.
this day, she collects Coca-Cola. I'll be out at like yard sales and I'll just send her a picture. I'm like, yo, this Coca-Cola stuff, you want it? She's like, yup.
Of course.
She's a hoarder for sure. So you guys
You
got a
should,
picture like you walk in my house and you're in the kitchen. The front door takes you right into the kitchen. There's like open concept or whatever you want to call it. Basically, the kitchen's basically attached to the dining room / living room. To the right, there is a gas heater. First of all, in the main room, that the only element of heat for the entire house. There's one propane heater, and there's a hallway, which is like what 5 feet, Like literally, I mean that hallway was like I think 5 feet from door to door, and the right
Bathroom,
side,
your room, your mom's
yeah,
room. Yeah.
So the right side door was actually a laundry room, but it was fairly big. It was big enough that I had at one point bunk beds in that room and a TV and stuff, and that was my bedroom for the longest time. And then in the middle of the hallway it was the bathroom, and on the other end was the actual only real bedroom, which was fairly big because at one point we had a bed in there and a bunk bed. Whenever I got older, that was like where me and my brother stayed. But that was it, man. It was a tiny, tiny, tiny house. I mean, like tiny house. And my mom is borderline at best a hoarder. So I took every opportunity I could to be at Frank's house or Andrew's house or any of my other friends that would take me. So that was my childhood, essentially. With my dial-up internet, my Halo forums that, you know, if mom wanted to make a phone call, I couldn't load all the gifs in the forums and stuff like that. So all the stat signatures and stuff. Man, I miss those days though, having like your Xbox 360 gamer tag and like your recent achievements and stuff like that, your overall gamer score. Those days were awesome.
Back when gamer score, if you saw a gamer score that was in like 5 digits, you were like, whoa, holy shit. That person plays a lot of video games.
I am so sorry. I don't know what's going on out there. But it sounds pretty insane.
Are you up in Sturgis right now?
Yeah.
Is there a biker rally?
Yeah, there's actually a rally going on right now, so everybody's doing wheelies and it's good times.
You joke, but that literally happened outside of my apartment earlier today.
Well, you're like
arm wrestling matches.
You're like in the middle of the riots right now, aren't you? Or well, the protests, not
the protests. Yeah, I mean, our street's pretty chill, but they're definitely going on around here. Yeah, we can hear some of it.
That's fun. That's good times.
Yeah.
You ever just feel like going out there and catching a rubber bullet to the face or anything?
Do I feel like wanting to do that? I don't super want to catch a rubber bullet to the face, but yeah. I suppose I would.
Just for the experience.
Well.
Do you guys have any live reads to do?
I think we might.
Anything from our advertisers? Joey, do you have one this week?
I don't.
Nobody's paying me.
No.
Listen. You know what I have this week other than ad reads? I have a goddamn refrigerator. Shout out to Frigidaire. Fucking Frigidaire, you cunts. My fucking fan caught on fire in my freezer. And I reached out to him and, you know, dead silence for a week. You know, no big deal. You almost burnt my house down. You know, whatever. I guess it's not worth, you know, just giving like a robotic automated response. It's whatever. Fuck Frigidaire. Don't buy their shit. Fuck them. Hardcore. Dude, my entire freezer caught on fire, and thank God it went out on its own. Anyway, so I've had to, you know, completely clean that out, put it into other refrigerator. I've got a refrigerator out in my garage, so I had to move all the food out into that. And then I had a stand-up freezer that I moved all the freezer food into that. And then I went to buy a new refrigerator. And apparently during like all the coronavirus scare, it made sense. Everybody was trying to buy freezers, you know, to like stock up on meat and stuff like that. But I guess refrigerators were also in high demand because everybody was sold out. Everybody in Sedalia. Like I went to Lowe's and like everything that they had on show floor, none of it was available. They were like sold out of everything. And I went to Menards. They were sold out of everything too. Everybody was just sold out of everything. So I put in an order for a new fridge. But it was like on the upcoming shipment that they don't even know when it's going to come in. Earliest it was going to come in was yesterday. And it's sounding like now I'll be lucky to get it by the end of the week. So I've been dealing with that. And then I put up my new pool. And the water here is so terrible that I've had to put like $90 worth of chemicals in it. So that's what I've been doing. Okay.
I was gonna help you do the pool thing, but now I'm not. It's
Pulls
No, you
up.
don't have to.
Yeah, pulls up, dude.
My bad. I
No
thought
worries.
you should have asked me. I would have tried to.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, it was like literally, Rob Lowe, shout out. It was like 110, 115 heat index the day I put it up, which is healthy, safe.
Sure.
And it was pretty terrible, but I got it up. It's all good. My mom came out and helped me, and we got it up. So
Put her
it's all good.
Coca-Cola bathing suit on.
Yeah, she had her Coca-Cola slides on, and everything's good to go,
Did you start sneaking pieces of Pepsi memorabilia into?
No, she don't she don't play that
That's why I
shit.
said sneak. That's why I said sneak.
You gotta be careful with that stuff, man.
So, do you guys remember that whole like fucking toilet paper shortage that happened?
Sure do.
The shortage. Dude, I use wet wipes. Fuck those people.
You know how there's such a big buzz about like people getting bidets and stuff now and all that jazz.
Yep.
Now is their time.
Yeah. It's the time of bidet today. You can actually order online a bidet and it will be at your house today.
Oh shit.
So, yeah, new hot startup company. They're all the rage. German engineers, Japanese engineers. Bidets today has really got it. They've got the newest technology. If you want to blast your muffler with 140 degrees triple filtered water, they got it. You've been eating some Taco Bell. You want to clean that muffler out real good? You're gonna have ice water shut up there. Ice baby. Their ad copy is horrible, by the way. But bidets today has got your bunghole covered. Now offering custom spray heads. This is what's gonna make them like just kill the bidet market. Is like those little cherubs,
Cherubs, yeah.
like in the city of fountains, where you see them like
Yeah.
or like
Oh,
the
okay.
little babies peeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be careful with this.
Well, no. So, for the nozzle though, you can get custom 3D printed nozzles that go on the sprayer for your bunghole.
Sure.
So, like, you don't like your in-laws, you can get her face or his face put on there. If you don't like your boss, you can get your boss's face put on there.
As the like sprayer nozzle.
Yeah, that's like the coolest thing. I mean, like, and here's like the ultimate power.
So you can get
though.
like Trump
say-
just like squirting
We're not making
water.
this political.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, of course. Go ahead. Sorry.
But you can also get custom colors. So if you wanted the Trump
Orange.
one, they can make it. They can make it out of orange plastic.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Right.
It's actually called Cheeto Yellow, I think is what they call it.
Is it like this or lighter, darker?
Just turn on Fox News and you'll see it. It's the
Okay.
same shade.
All right. Yeah.
So if you like really hate your boss and you want to show dominance, why not buy a bidet, install it at work, and then have his face there? These guys
Good
have really
idea.
got it. These guys have really got it. So it's like the fountains of Wayne for bidets. It's really cool. So check out the bidets today at Bidet Today, and invest in yourself and your hiney hole. So
Use
thanks
code
a lot, Bidet
GRAVY.
Today.
That's right.
Save
For
15%?
900% off.
Oh, okay. Damn, we really got it in good with them. What's our cut? If we're giving them 900% off, our cut's got to be shit. Which is unfortunate, but
They're in it for the love of the game. They're not in it for the money.
there you go.
They're in it for your butthole.
For the
Okay.
love of your behind.
For the love of the beehole. Fuck yeah, dude. Hashtag America.
So we heard about Joey obviously just still playing Halo, and Andrew
That's all I do, man.
playing any games or anything lately.
I did download that recent Nintendo 51 Clubhouse games for the
I
Switch.
need to do that.
Yes. I feel like that might
I don't know where it's at.
be
It's
some good,
downstairs.
some solid streaming content, because there's just like so much. There's off-brand like Uno on there. There's like all kinds of shit.
How much is it?
It's like $40, I think.
What?
Damn, son.
But it's got like, you got checkers, chess, basically any sort of board game that you can think of that they could get for like free that isn't like super licensed.
It's
Wait,
like
but-
actual multiplayer.
Yeah.
So you did buy it though.
Yeah, I did.
So, do you have Uno?
I do have
Oh,
Uno.
god damn it. Here we go.
It's not the version they have is not called Uno though. It is called Last One, I believe.
Haha.
Ooh.
Have you
So
guys
eat
played the
that, Uno.
new Battleship that they released on, like, I think it's like cross-platform, everything.
No, is it like an adaptation of the board game?
It's actual. It's like actual Hasbro Battleship, I believe. But there's like you choose like hero, like generals or whatever, and they have. Fuck, I'm trying to think. There's like, everybody has like a special, so that like one of their hero attacks is like a mortar strike where it just like hits 10 different squares at random. Instead of just one or whatever. But yeah, and then there's like another one that's like an airstrike or something, so it might do like a straight line all the way across, whichever line you pick and stuff like that. So there's like special attacks and stuff. It's pretty cool, but there's actual like online multiplayer. It's fun. It's good times.
Pretty
Other than
solid.
that, it's just standard Battleship, but it's like
But
a
yeah,
$20
definitely check
game,
out I think the Clubhouse games are pretty solid. I've enjoyed playing it with like I've played it with my son a little bit.
Yeah, I need to check that out for sure.
Kicked his ass at chess.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I show no mercy to my son when I play games like checkers or chess against him.
My kids have just learned checkers, so maybe that's the next step. I need to teach them chess.
They stepped up from licking doorknobs to checkers. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. You fucking asshole.
You got to teach him not to do that in the current era.
Is that what we're supposed to be doing as parents?
Yeah, no doorknob licking. That's number one
shit.
of the COVID-19
Like
playbook.
how the one fucker that doesn't have kids is the one teaching us how to raise them. So well, to end off the episode here, what is
We're not
everybody's? No, we're getting close, dude. We're at our time limit, dude. You need to calm the fuck down, bro. What is everybody's most anticipated video game?
Let me see.
Let me Google
I got-
that shit real quick.
No, I got two I'm really excited for. I'm really excited for the Hellblade sequel,
Okay. Fair
Hellblade
enough.
Senua's Sacrifice, or Senua's Saga. I can't remember what the new one's called, but I'm really, really pumped for that because the first one was extremely good. And Ghost of Tsushima. I know you're not a PlayStation boy, but that game looks dope as hell.
I don't know what that is.
It's like Red Dead Redemption, but with samurais and like samurai movies as the kind of template.
Right on. I respect it.
It looks dope.
What about you, Frank?
You absolute devil.
I'm so sorry. Frank?
Frank.
I don't really even know what's coming out to be and to have feelings of anticipation because I really haven't
It's
been
not a good
gaming
sign.
a lot.
Well, I
Just don't
mean,
know what-
understandably so. I mean, we didn't get E3 this year. We didn't get. I mean, it's not your fault, dude. You're a product of the current status of things.
The hype train has derailed.
It has. You got to be really woke these days, not balls deep in a bowling alley to know what's going on in the gaming world. So, well, mine, I have two. So, Infinite is my obvious answer. I'm expecting the worst, hoping for the best.
Sure.
But other than that, there's a mod team working on a remaster of sorts of GoldenEye, 007 GoldenEye. There's already GoldenEye Source on Steam, which is fantastic. I want to go ahead and shout them out. If you haven't played that, it's the full multiplayer, all the original maps, the original sounds, the original weapons, everything. Multiplayer, you can play like Golden Gun game and all that stuff. It's really, really good on Steam, but it's just the multiplayer. But there's a mod team currently working on the campaign. They're completely redoing all the levels and everything, and it looks fucking awesome. They're on Twitter. I don't know their exact handle or whatever, but I've been following their stuff, and I think they have a a release date of like a year from now, maybe a little bit longer. I mean, it's definitely it's like one of those things where it's just a few dudes in their basement working on it together as like a passion project, but it looks really fucking good.
What do you got, Frank?
How can they do that without getting like dick slapped in the face by Raresoft's or Rare's lawyers?
No fucking idea. It might be like whenever they re-released Halo 2 multiplayer, like a mod team did that, and they were like, you could play it for like 2 weeks, and they were like, yo, nah, that ain't gonna happen. And then they shut them down, and now it's actually like legit from 343. But
they did a re-release of GoldenEye back in like the 360 era, didn't they? Called it GoldenEye Reloaded.
Yeah, no, that's what they branded it as, but it had nothing to do with the original game. Other than the fact that it was called 007 GoldenEye, it had nothing to do with the original game. Like it was a full, it was a brand new multiplayer experience, and I don't even know if there was a campaign involved, but it was terrible because I purchased it on whatever it was, Wii, I think maybe at the time, something like that, and it just it wasn't very good.
Shame.
Yeah. Frank, did you have time to think of one?
I was really excited that I saw on the Steam seats that
Yeah. Right on.
On the Switch store that they were coming out with like the remastered versions of BioShock crap.
I forgot about that.
Like I was excited for that, but the thing is, I'm so kind of wary and pissed off about that stuff is that like I've already bought the game like 2 or 3 times, and I've got it. You know, I had it on the Xbox, and then I still have it on PC on Steam and stuff. Like you're gonna make me buy it for a third system? Like
that's how it is, man. Everything's like that these days. Like you're happy to see it to the games that were like your absolute favorite from back in the day. You're like, okay, yeah, I'll shell out a little bit of money to, replay that, relive that experience, go down that nostalgia road. But for those games that you're like, it was fun, but it wasn't my favorite thing in the world, that's when it starts to get annoying, I feel like. Because it's everything these days. They're just remastering fucking everything. Like Battlefield
Bikini Bottom.
There we go. Yep. I just played through it. But they're bringing like a multiplayer mode or some shit.
Yeah, I never played it. I always actually heard it was really good though, so I'm sort of.
It was really good. When I was doing Let's Plays on my second channel, a lot of people brought that game up, specifically. So I was like, all right. So I played through it. I really enjoyed it. It was good times. And then, and then they announced a remaster. But I remember when the trailer came out, the description says something about a brand new multiplayer experience or some shit. So at least they're remastering it, but they're also bringing something new to the table. Whether or not it's good or dog shit, we'll see. But there's also Destroy All Humans. That's getting remastered. There's all kinds of shit, man.
There's a couple. Now that I'm thinking about it, there are a few more games I'm really looking forward to. Like Deadly Premonition is finally getting a sequel, and that's going to be hilarious and ridiculous.
What the fuck is that? Deadly Premonition?
Oh man, Deadly Premonition was a 360 game that has been since ported to basically everything now, I think. But it's like the best way to pitch it is like imagine Twin Peaks. Are you familiar at all with Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
Okay, it's that sort of vibe, like a very weird sort of like murder mystery, but it's like one of the few games that manages to hit that so bad it's good sort of like level. Like movies can do that, games can't really do that.
Yeah, right.
But it's great. It's finally getting a sequel, and Windjammers 2 is supposed to be out this year, which I'm very excited for.
That sounds familiar. What is that?
Windjammers was I don't think it was a Neo Geo game. It was like on SNK platforms. That it was a competitive like battle frisbee game, whereas like 2 people on each end of a court, and in the middle there's a net, and then behind each person is 2 goals, and you can like curve the frisbee and like do like these power throws.
That already came out or something similar.
They released a sort of like updated version of it for modern consoles, but a proper sequel is coming out this year, I think.
Okay.
No, that already did come out. No, it did.
Windjammers 2?
Yeah, no. See, what you do is you go to the store, you buy a frisbee, and you decide
Alright.
you throw a fucking frisbee.
I can't make fire come out of frisbees though. I've tried it all the ways.
Frank and I actually probably have tried that. There was a period of time where we were making Molotov cocktails and stuff, and we probably put gasoline and styrofoam on a frisbee and hot glued razor blades to it or something and threw it at a cat. But
Yeah, that sounds right.
I don't recall that. I was not there. I never watched anything.
thank you, PR person Frank. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to bring an end to episode 4 of the Gravy Wheels podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys are not subscribed to our brand new Gravy Wheels YouTube channel, look at them pit stains. That's how you know it's real. If you're not subscribed to that, if you're not following us on Gravy Wheels on Twitter, we got Instagram, Facebook. We got all the things. We're on Spotify, iTunes, all the things that the cool kids are listening to these days.
That's right.
Check out all the links in the description. We love you guys. Thank you so much for all the comments. We're really loving the interaction and the feedback. You guys have been
Thanks
great.
to Javelin.
Yeah.
Thanks to Javelin for letting us use their song.
The intro song.
So to Popinski.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Listen to it, live it, love it.
Can today's word from Andrew be antiperspirant?
No, it won't be.
Antiperspirant.
All right.
Look, this shirt's fresh, dude. It ain't got no stains yet, dude. Give it a
dude,
week.
I'm just a sweat beast.
They don't have AC in New York City. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. I love you guys, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.
But the word.
Oh yeah, what's the word, Frank? You
It's
said
his
it.
turn. It's
You're
Andrew's
just
turn.
you were just
Can we
you're
all
just a
just say a
child
word?
lost in a mall.
Let's all just say
We're
a word.
leading up to it, and you're just oblivious.
Frank, say the
man.
word. Or I mean, Andrew.
It's not my
Say-
turn.
Frank and Andrew, say the word. Andrew, go ahead.
Harpies.